Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Frankie.
How's it going?
I was just telling the director, I think, ran 19 blocks to get here.
Nice.
Yeah, from the high 40s.
Oh, wow.
It was raining. But
Yeah.
All right. So to start off, I want to ask you, how does it feel to be back in the acting game?
I'm super excited. I after Malcolm ended, took some time off from the acting world, and Pizza Man is my first film back, and I honestly had such an amazing time, filming the movie, and I'm super excited for everyone to see what we have, see the trailer, and hopefully we'll be announcing a release date soon, and hopefully everyone will enjoy it. But I'm super excited being back in the acting world, and I definitely missed it, so should be good.
How do you feel that it was to have Frankie in his first big picture back in quite a while? How did you convince him to do it? Did he need a little crying?
Awkward. Working with him was phenomenal. The guy's a class act. He brings it every moment he was on set, and there were plenty of times on this film, working the crazy hours he did, 6-day weeks, that he could have been like, you know what, dude, but no, he's a class act. He knows what he's doing. He is he coming back for his first film, back from his little break. It's great. It's an honor that we're the movie that he said, you know what, I respond to that material, let's do it. And he brought it. So.
Going back to what you said about taking your time off, I remember reading a quote that you said that entering adulthood, it was somewhat difficult and questionable for you. What was your mindset then compared to what it is now?
Well, when I was a younger kid on Malcolm and stuff, everyone always used to ask that question. They're like, well, how are you going to make the transition from child actor, because so many child actors turn out messed up or whatever it may be, right? And how are you going to do that and be taken seriously? And my response when I was 14 was, well, in 4 years I'm going to be 18, which means I'll be an adult and I'll continue acting, so I'll be an adult actor, right? Like, it's easy. But right when that transition was starting to begin, when Malcolm was ending, is when I said, I want to be a race car driver. And so I kind of skipped trying to become an adult actor for that time. And so I don't know. I mean, I never really put much thought into it, you know what I mean, as far as like how do I get taken seriously, because people always say, like, well, you don't want to be stereotyped as Malcolm, you don't want to be stereotyped in the same character or one character or anything. And my thought was, to be stereotyped or to be remembered as anything, still pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'd rather that than Absolutely. Nothing. You know what I mean? So, it wasn't like something that I was trying, or I'm trying to kill that image that people have of me as being Malcolm. Right now, like, Pizza Man was a script I read. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, and, I thought it'd be great, and it was, and I had an awesome time. A lot of the things I'm looking towards now, that I am venturing back into the acting world full time, are a little more dark, definitely different from what people will expect from me. And that's not because I feel like I need to do that, for people to take me seriously as an actor. It's just that that's what I'm reading right now and going, I want to do that. You know what I mean? I want to have the opportunity to act in that and do that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future.
Well, with racing, I remember that you got first place in sportsmanship, right?
Yes.
So
I'm a nice guy.
Hey, it's something, right?
Yes.
But the way I remember you, everyone remembers you as Malcolm. I remember you from the first time I saw you on TV was in Miracle in Lane 2.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember when you got into that accident, and I'm thinking, was that a fear of yours when you became a race car driver? Did that movie have an influence on you becoming one?
No, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of racing. It's one of those things, like, I think every young kid says, like, oh, I want to be a race car driver. It's like saying you want to be an astronaut. You know what I mean? Like, it's not realistic. Like, how do you really become a professional race car driver, right? But Miracle in Lane 2, that was soapbox derby racing, which is kind of just rolling down a hill. But I did do a few soapbox derby races after that.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I mean? And I had a lot of fun doing that. But as far as the real, IndyCar racing and stuff I was doing, like, that was just a passion of mine, and I went for it, and I had a lot of fun, and was getting pretty competitive. The year I got hurt in 2009, I was fourth in the championship. with 3 races to go. So I was, competing against ex-Formula 1 drivers, GP2 drivers, IndyCar drivers, and
Tough competition
doing
there.
well.
Yeah.
For someone who started racing when they were 19, compared to the kids who I was racing started when they were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and they've grown up saying, if you don't win, you can't put food on the table. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different mindset when, you have to do it to be able to survive. You know what I mean? So competing against those kids, I mean, not kids, but, other racers and stuff was
You
tough
weren't worried
competition.
about top speed.
Oh, no, I just, I worked really hard and, hope to go back to racing eventually. It just,
It's passion.
it is for sure, and I have some unfinished business in the racing world still. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
What about you, Joe? Have you ever raced? Do you have a desire to? Are you going to go see Frankie?
I'll support him every day. Yeah, I would love to go see him race. I've never raced. I've raced on my foot, like being chased to Queens. Grew up in Queens, so yeah. Other than
Where in
that,
Queens?
Jackson Heights, Queens. Born
Okay.
and raised. Yeah. So Premier and Pizza Man here is phenomenal. We're in my hometown, so
So about the movie, did you have any development on it? Did you have any ideas? Did you ask him for input?
Every day I asked him. Yeah, he had a lot of input on set. He was Pizza Man. He's Matt Burns. He's the one in front of the camera. So we rehearse it, and stuff that may not have felt right. Maybe there are a lot of some holes in the story that he's what if we did it like this? It would solve that. He's smart. He knows what he's talking about, and it was good to collaborate with somebody that had the movie in its perspective as opposed to how I'm going to look on camera. You know what I mean? It was refreshing to have that.
So you said you're reading dark things now. Compared to, I remember, when Paul Giamatti turned blue.
Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with Paul? Amanda?
I haven't. I always say like I'm a really bad friend.
I heard you say that earlier.
Like, I wish I stayed in better contact with all my old friends, but then I realized that they haven't called me either. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm just not that nice and nobody wants to call me. No, no. I've seen them out. You know what I mean, at events and throughout the years, and it's always cool. But it's kind of like going to summer camp. I feel like filming movies and TV shows or stuff like that, because you become so close with so many people. And on the last day, it's like, oh, I'm so sad it's over. We're going to stay in contact. We're going to go to lunch and dinner every week and blah, blah, blah. But then everyone goes on to their regular lives and get on another project. Or, like I said, I live in Phoenix, Arizona now, so I'm nowhere near any of my old friends in L.A. And
Just met Amari Stoudemire.
Oh, did you? Is he here?
He's actually at Skylanders. It's on 59th.
Very cool. Anyway, but it's just one of those things that I don't necessarily keep in great contact. I mean, I talked to DDP. He's probably one of the few that I actually have kept in contact with after filming something. But and this dude I talk to all the time.
Once in a while.
No, actually, I talk to Joe a lot.
A lot, yeah.
So, seems like you grew up a lot, and you're saying you didn't eat, sleep, and drink race cars for 4 or 5 years. So what did you do?
I almost did, because it is full time. But no, I mean, it's funny because, when Malcolm ended, don't get me wrong when I explain this, I loved being an actor. I loved being on the show. I loved doing the movies I did. It was just one of those things that I just didn't want to for some time. You know what I mean? And I started racing, and my focus was that let me go away and pursue the racing, but then also I want to come back when I really want it. You know what I mean? I don't want to half-ass it. You know what I mean? I want to show up and even with Pizza Man, show up on set every single day and try to make the best movie that I can, rather than just kind of doing it. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel that it was the best thing for me because it made me appreciate all aspects of life, as creepy as that may sound. But I honestly appreciate everything that I've done in the past way more. And now when I look to the future, and when I did Pizza Man and I look to these other movies, I want to put in my best effort. You know what I mean? Which I think that's how it should be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I feel like it took going away to realize, you know what? I loved that. You know what I mean? And I want to do better. I watch episodes of Malcolm and I go, I wish I tried harder because I could have made that funnier. You know what I mean? You know, like things like that. I don't want to ever say that again. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I want to feel like I'm fully committed. So.
Got a couple more questions for you guys. Have you pursued martial arts since Agent Cody Banks?
No, I wish. I mean, no, I haven't
at all. Well, I saw that you brought your mom.
Yes.
Here. So, are you a family guy, a girlfriend, prospectus?
Yeah. I've been in a relationship for 5 years now. My mom and that's my stepdad. They live in New Jersey. I'm from just Bergen County.
Oh, you're from Bergen County.
So it's one of those, you know, anytime I'm in town,
That's your mom?
obviously, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Hi, Mom.
But try to spend as much time as possible. You know what I mean? And it's actually oddly rare for me to get back over here. You know what I mean? Because I'm always, you know, busy on the West Coast or in Phoenix and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I do get here, I try to spend as much time as possible.
So, Pizza Man,
Yeah.
you don't have a set release date yet.
Not yet. We have
Are
some
you-
offers on the table that we're talking to, but we're waiting for tonight to happen to see how it, you know.
And how do you feel the reception was from Comic-Con?
We haven't had our event yet. Tonight at 8:45 is
Well,
our event.
the pre-of, like, do you feel
Well,
that
so-
people are interested? Do you
Yeah.
feel that there's a hype?
There's a little buzz going around. Everyone's excited from what I can hear and we can see. So we'll see. I've been getting a lot of emails and everyone's showing up. So we'll see.
1 second. I feel like...
There's Marco.
Can we ask your mom a quick question?
Sure.
Were you somewhat scared every time Frankie got into a race car?
No, I wasn't really scared because I knew it was something that he wanted to do. Of course, you're nervous, especially when the crash. I'm like, no. But I just knew that it was something that he enjoyed doing, and I'm always supporting everything he does.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, thank you.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you, guys.
all right. I appreciate it,
See you.
Frankie. Do you mind if we take a picture?